Okay, so some people were talking about this on my social media feed, so I decided we need to talk about the Cat in the Hat for a second. Actually, this is gonna take a lot longer than 1 second, maybe like 2 seconds, I don't know. But yeah, we all know that the live action movie is the biggest steaming pile of hot garbage that is sick and wrong and that some of us unfortunately still consider a guilty pleasure, don't judge me. And I think we all tend to forget just how bizarre the original 1971 animated TV special was. So let's start with the obvious. Everybody jokes about the cat being a creepy home invader, yada yada yada, but have we really, really sat down and thought about this? Okay, so I'm not a Satanist by any means, but according to the Satanic Commandments or whatever the hell they are, the devil cannot possess an individual without their consent. Of course, I know possessing people and breaking and entering are two totally different things, but that's beside the point. So anyway, here's another better example. Vampires cannot enter your house unless you invite them in. They cannot enter without your consent. The Cat in the Hat just busts into these kids' house without even bothering to introduce himself or asking at all like the inconsiderate bitch that he is. Now, of course, they ask him to get out, or I guess the fish does, but he completely ignores that and re-invites his blood-sucking self back in. And the point I'm trying to make of this is that when it comes to entering places they probably shouldn't, Satan abides by a code. Vampires abide by a code. The Cat in the Hat does not abide by a code, and arguably this makes him more powerful than both Satan and Dracula. Now I could just leave it at this, but oh no. Oh no, 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 no. It gets worse. Yeah, we're talking again here about how the only person with any semblance of decency here is the fucking fish. You know, the animal that everybody acts like has a 3 second memory and would not be most people's go-to example of an intelligent being, which just further shows how ass backwards this whole scenario is, though I'm pretty sure the actual reason he's so neurotic is... Okay, wait. Back it up, there's a lot of contributing factors here. So first and foremost, what the fuck is up with his name?
The name is Crinklebine. Carlos K. Crinklebine.
Like, what the fuck? Did the kids name him that? Did the kids come up with that? Like, Jesus, when I was a kid, I named one of my fish Poopy, but I'd never call him anything like Carl Wrinklenuts. That's animal abuse. And we haven't even gotten started on the animal abuse. The actual honest-to-God cause of all his problems is definitely from that tiny-ass bowl the kids stuck him in with nothing but his own damn self to keep him entertained. I mean, fish bowls are objectively terrible, but they could have at least stuck some gravel in there. Like, the human equivalent of this would be, at best, living in a cupboard under the stairs. At least Harry Potter got to be a wizard. Funky Rhymes here is just further saddled with existential torment. But I digress, let's get back to the cat. After Blubberguz attempts to banish him back to whence he came, he just busts back in and then he says this.
Somebody stole my moss-covered three-handled family gradanza.
Okay, obviously he's making that up. This isn't even a joke statement. We all know this, but still, what the ever-loving fuck is a moss-covered three-handled family gradanza? And the reason I'm bothering to ask this is apparently when the kid's mom comes back, she knows. And I have two very terrible speculative scenarios as to why. The first one is that the cat is an otherworldly demon who the mom made a pact with because she's too busy to actually take care of the kids. And the second one is that he's a furry role player whom she married and divorced after they had the kids because he'd never take the fursuit off and she didn't want the kids to grow up around this guy, and right now he's pulling a Mrs. Doubtfire or whatever. Regardless of which it is, the mother is definitely a terrible parent if the kids don't see anything wrong with the strange quasi-humanoid entering their house without permission, which means she never taught them about stranger danger. Now, I don't know when any of you guys were told not to talk to strangers or let them into the house, but I was about 4. These kids can't be older than 10. Then the goddamn things come along, and I really wish I had something funny to say about these two little shits, but I don't, other than that they are of no help whatsoever and just exist to make things worse, which is probably what the cat was banking on. Then finally, in like the last 5 minutes of this, which I actually thought was 10 minutes because it just goes on for long enough to destroy my concept of time, which the cat was probably also banking on, he turns the entire house into a red and white hellscape. By the way, any of you guys know why a barber pole has red and white stripes? Yeah, and educates the children in linguistics, because as it has been recorded, the archaic demons were often summoned as teachers of liberal arts, and Kringlefucker even gets in on it too, either because he's been brainwashed or just tortured into submission. Nothing makes sense anymore. There is no God. There is no Satan. Only the cat in the hat. Also, this is definitely racist. I'm pretty sure this is racist, and I'm not too sure if this is racist, but I have a bad gut feeling about it, but then again, I'm white, so I'm not the kind of person to discuss this with. In all seriousness, I like it. As far as children's media goes, it's pleasantly offbeat, I guess. I mean, some of the visuals are kind of trippy, and the whole plot is a strange plot. But it was a favorite of mine as a child, and I can definitely see how it may have had an influence in my creative work even to this day. It's not bad. Thanks, guys, for sitting through this for so long.